Okay. Get down to business. Okay. We got some things that we need to talk about. Okay. So, y'all see me, I post my video. Okay. Erase all this. When we talked about it earlier, you watched the video, we were talking about price going lower, low, lower, high, low, low, and breaking structure here. Okay. Price. There we go. Hold on, let me set up here. Oh. Happening. Okay, we're good, right? Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let's go ahead to the microphone. Okay. So previously before, my goodness, what is happening right now? Okay. So earlier this morning, we were talking about price going lower, low, breaking structure on the 4 hour, right? So this was our daily training range, okay? And then we looked into here what price did, okay? So you can clearly see this was our lower low, this was our lower high, okay? Breaking it down, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price broke below this low, making this our new range, right? So what we're looking at is price potentially distributing out of here and then coming down here for some imbalances, or potentially right here for this imbalance, right? So we had two targets down there, okay? But, right, check out what price did. So when we were looking in here, we were talking about a couple of things, okay? So first things first, we were talking about price broke structure. So we're going to label it out, okay? Price broke structure right here. I wish I could make this straight. Okay. Price broke structure there. Right there. And then you have price. Bring that up just a little bit so y'all can see it. Price broke structure, you want to see the price, right? So it closed at 206 here, and then it closed at 209, so that was lower. And then you have this imbalance where we're transferring in last up candle, okay? So point of interest, last up candle, where we were in there, okay? But when we go in here, this is what we're looking at. The price went higher high, higher low, and the price broke down, broke structure right here. So what we wanted to see was price breaking structure out of here. Was it right here? Yeah, it was in here. So what we wanted to see is price break structure out of here and continue on to the downside, taking this imbalance prior to a new low. But instead, price accumulated. Okay, so if you want to go down to the lower time frame, you can clearly see, and I'll replay this. Around 305, price was accumulating here, and you can clearly see, right? Price closed above the high. 245, 3 o'clock, price closed above the high. This is where we transfer this, right, to a new break structure. And what do you identify? Okay, well, it did sweep liquidity before taking off, came into an imbalance, okay, broke structure, right? So what we're looking for is price coming down into here, which I'm about to show you guys to play. So if price was going to come down to here, break structure, and accumulate where it was our targets, right? It's imbalance here, a new high, right? Going to this high potentially, come into here, might distribute out here and go to a new low. And that's what we'd be looking for. But instead, what do we get? And then say if you played this, right? You saw a price coming down to here, coming to your area, and now it's closer to your area. You saw this. You saw lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, let me break it down. You saw lower low, lower high, lower low, price broke structure. Say if you play this, right? Boom, you're like, oh, okay, well, price broke structure right there. I want to play this, go for a long, right? The first time, let's see what happens, right? Price came down, right? From right there. That would have been a 1 and 2. All right, price got you. Boom. Okay, cool. And now what you see is you got the range, right? You got this range here. So we're still looking for some type of accumulation. So this was our lower, at this point, went higher high, higher low, higher high, break, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're looking for some type of accumulation here. Price went lower, and it broke structure. So what do we look for? Right? We identify the break of structure. We identify the sweep of liquidity right here. Boom. And then right there. Boom. And now this is our point of interest with the imbalance and all that good stuff. Okay. It's like rinse and repeat all over again. So now, yeah, price came into here, then that's where you could just simply just enter off of that, right? Just like so. Stop loss below the low. I'm going towards a new high to this imbalance and so on and so forth. And let's see what happens. And then price accumulated to a new high, and yeah. And honestly, I didn't review this market around this time, so I was asleep. This was a clean play. If you play this, nice, right? So say if you wanted to get a little bit more deeper into it, right? I don't know what this is, but let's see, right? So say if you wanted to get a little deeper and catch a trade like this. Well, look at it. It went higher high, higher low, higher high. Price broke structure. Okay. Went lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and price broke right here. Well, how would you have caught that? Well, as soon as you seen price broke, you could have just entered right there, put your stop loss below the low here, right? Or even, right? It's just the market is so fractal. Well, actually, no. Let's leave it at that, right? That turned into a 1 to 5 versus a 1 to 3, right? See the difference? But yes, that was the play for DXY for the day. Pretty clean trade there, and it just blasted up above and beyond. Okay, you could probably see price went this direction, and then it tried to go up. So wait, yeah. Why? Anyways, I just want to make sure I'm looking at this correctly. Because, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Then, And then, okay, I think I got the days mixed up, okay? Because previously to this was today's play. I got the days mixed up. Today is the 8th, okay? Price broke structure right here, right? We're looking for price to come lower, sweep these lows lower down here, okay? And then you can clearly see what we're looking at. Oh, like, okay, we got the imbalance, we got the point of interest, we have the liquidity that was swept right here, okay? And then you probably don't see that, right? Boom, right there. What happened? We wanted to see what it just kept accumulating, right? So it just kept going and going. You had your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. By this time, price already broke above. So what do we look for? We wait for what the break of structure. We saw the break of structure, and now we change our positions. Now we change with the market. Like, okay, now it's accumulating, showing evidence of accumulation. Now we look for some type of accumulation play because you have what higher high and then higher low at this point. So if price accumulated, right, you've seen this. So you see this break of structure right here, and then you have this area, last push down prior to expansion, and then you got your imbalance, so on and so forth. So what happened here? Well, you can clearly see price was retracing at this point. Okay, went lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Price broke, right, and accumulated right here. Now, as you can say, DXY is correlated with your USD. Now, what we were looking for was a play in here. Okay, let's start new here. Okay, so what happened? So when I was going over, and I realized this, and I'm surprised I didn't see it. I guess because I stayed up all day and I was extremely tired. I didn't, you know, it happens. Sometimes it happens. I'm not the perfect player. I'm not the perfect trader in the world, but you can clearly see structure. It's important to identify. That's what part of the lesson is always identify structure on all time frames to the last candle. So you had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price did break, which is why we're looking here. But we ignored the fact that price went lower low, lower high, and it broke down, which breaks this structure. Which I was like, I reviewed it because I think I played this play going up here, but I got clapped back because I thought price was bullish when it come into here, but price was bearish on the 15. So what is our range? We had this and this as our range, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, broke structure. So what do you identify? Okay, we have that range. We have this liquidity that was swept out. Okay, and we have no imbalances, but right, this is where we go in, and then this is where we identify structure. And the market is so fractal, that's where you come in here. Okay, well, what happened? It went higher high, higher low, higher high, broke lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and price broke this structure. Okay, now the retracement is starting from there. What did it do? It went higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and it broke structure right there. So what you could have done, right? You could have saw this, be like, okay, well, that's pretty clean. Break the structure right there. Boom. Okay, you have your sweep of liquidity on the left side. You have imbalances, or no imbalance. You just have straight up liquidity, right? So when price got up in there again, it got into this candle. Put your stop loss above this high, because if you put it above this high, you probably would have got swept out, right? We got the equal highs, which was swept there, and it just played out from there. Okay, so there's one thing I do want to mention, right? We did have that imbalance right here, but we also had an imbalance down here. But look, let's take a look and see what happened. Price went lower. Okay, it gave you another opportunity. Anytime price shoot out in a certain area, that'll be in your next area of interest. What did it do? Right, it didn't show on the 5 minute, but you can clearly see the structure playing right there. So you probably could have like, all right, well, once again, started point of interest, go down to the lower time frame because it's a 5 minute. What do you do? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Broke structure. Man, this is so clean. Oh, sleep. Okay, so here broke structure and right here. Hold on. Hello. Hey,
Mom got discharged.
I know she's you say you tired. All right, we're back, and I just realized that my mic wasn't on. I'm just like, dang. So yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear me or anything. But like I was saying, yeah, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, break. Right? You're like, okay, you got this break of structure. Then what? Just enter as soon as you get in. You could, right? You could do that. Boom. That's a 1 to 4. Simply going to a new low. But what did it do again? So when it's low, high, low, now you got a new range. You got this little up candle for the expansion. What did it do? Came back up and went like this. Look. Went here, here, high, and then accumulated. Higher, low, high. Broke structure, came back up right here. For price. Boom. Now, my friend, if you caught that, congratulations, because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? I'm not the greatest trader, right? Matter of fact, I was struggling to identify these things for the longest. Hold on, Jabari. Cereal. Darn kids. He asked me to make sure. Anyways, I just figured out not too long ago market structure. I literally struggle with market structure. People always say, well, you got this low, this high, and this is where you look at it. But what's happening internally? What's going on here? Yes, you can say this is the highest point, this is the high point. But like, what's happening here? Okay. Why should I wait for a break this long to close and wait for a structure to come back here? You know? And that's not how I like to look at the market. I look at the market as in candlesticks, right? Of course, the wicks matter, okay, because I'm looking at liquidity and all that stuff. But like, I was very, very, very confused on this for a long time, okay? And it finally clicked when it came to structure. So let me show you how I look at structure, okay? Little side lesson here. I'm gonna show you how I look at structure. Okay. You have this. As you know, this is not a beginner's class. We know this is bullish, right? You got people trading trend lines. Okay, this is bullish structure. Oh my goodness. Well, right here. This is a bullish structure because you got trend lines going, right? And usually you're not supposed to force the trend lines. Boom. Always bullish. You got trend lines, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, going up. And that's how I just used to look at it. And then earlier in my career, I started looking at structure like this. You see all this mess? And then this. Higher lows, lower low, lower high, lower lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high. That's what I used to look at structure like here, like that. I never used to combine the two. It was just one sector of that kind. Okay. I used to look at this whole move and then I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why did we get this? Why am I looking at this? And then I went to, well, 3 candles is a break for me, which it was working at the time. It was working somehow. But now, right, I look at the overall structure. Okay, we're bullish. So if we get a break here, okay, this is where I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the internal structure. And then if it breaks there, that's my sign of reaccumulation and going for a new high right there. Is that fractal? So if you're confused about structure, I'm going to tell you this one thing. Don't look at it as one small piece, like the little fractals, and then don't get confused with the big moves and then the small moves. Let me explain. Now I'm going to set a perfect example. Okay. Here. Okay. Here's a good example. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Those are what we call structure moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the big structure moves, okay? I don't understand why nobody explains this crap like this. And it took me forever to actually understand what the heck I couldn't see it. I just couldn't see it. Okay, so you have this, right? These are the big moves. Okay, highest point, lowest point, highest point, lowest point. Think of big moves as highest point, lowest point from the 1 hour perspective. And then you have your little internal moves. Okay, what is these little internal moves? Okay, here's the internal moves: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You can even go as small as this: lower low, lower high, lower low, right? These are even ranges. Okay, it's so fractal. I got confused. You see, you have this range: low, high, low, high, low, high, low, break. Now we're switching directions. Now we understand how to read the market. Okay, because you're like, what about this? I'm gonna break it down really good for you. How about this? Let's go here. Well, what happens in here? Well, what do you have? You have your highest point of retracement and then your lowest point of retracement. So what do you want to see? Really, you want to see it go to the uptrend. Okay. But what do you have? Right? Save the first time, right? Where you saw this higher high, higher low, higher high. Price broke. You saw this. You took this trade, put your stop loss above this high. You got clapped. It happens. Okay. Boom. Went to a new high. Okay. So what do we have at this current moment? Broke structure. This is your high. This is your low. Then what happened? Price did what? Price broke below this low. And what do you identify? Okay, you identify this, liquidity, right? Say if you wanted to get real fractal, right? The 1 minute, you see it higher high, higher low, higher high. It broke structure. You would have took this trade, and the price went up. But then, what did price do? It went up. It got fractal, right? Broke structure here and went down, right? So it's just a matter of understanding, right? I just want to make sure y'all get this. Seeing the fractal side of this. What happened here? Price went up, went down, and continue on to the downtrend. Because why? We are going in a retracement of the 15. So you have your big structure here, then you have your internal structure there, which you identify the internal structure as small movements. And then you have your internal structure where price breaks above and come back in the counter trend in that internal structure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody's on here, if y'all understand what the hell I mean. Am I not my channel? Why it says I'm live? Supposed to be fresh trades. This is the wrong account, y'all. This is the wrong account. I'm not supposed to be here. Do y'all understand what I'm saying though? Do y'all get it? It's that fractal. Is that fractal? Like, I don't know. It took me so long to kind of understand. So look, right? I'm supposed to be doing a market analysis. Okay. So let me say this and I'll go back to my market analysis. That trade would have turned out to a 1 in 30 if you play that play. But hear me out. This is what I wanted to speak about. This is how I identify things now. Okay. Matter of fact, I think I'm about to end this live because I didn't want to. Hear me out. This is what I wanted to speak about. Anyways, so this is the wrong channel, by the way. No, I wasn't supposed to be on this channel. Matter of fact, I think I'm about to end this. Okay, so you have one, two. Hear me out. This is my model now. One. This is what I wanted to explain about. Anyways, so one is market structure. This is two. Matter of fact, I don't even have to do this. I wasn't supposed to be on this channel. Matter of fact, I think I'm about to end this. Okay, so one is market structure. You have 1, 2 is range. This is my model now. 3 is point of interest IPA. 4 is red and ring. 5th is target market structure. This is 2. Matter of fact, I don't even have to do this. 1 and 2 are the most important things of this whole methodology. This is my model now. Okay, 3 is point of interest. I'm gonna end this live. 4 is red and ring. 5th is target market structure. This is 2. Matter of fact, I don't even have to do this. 1 and 2 are the most important things of this whole methodology. This is my model now. Okay, 3 is point of interest. I'm gonna end this live. 4 is red and ring. 5th is target. This is 2. Matter of fact, I don't even have to do this. 1 and 2 are the most important things. This is my model now. Okay, 3 is point of interest. I'm gonna end this live. 4 is red and ring. 5th is target. All right, I gotta go though because this is not the channel I wanted to be on. Okay, I gotta make sure we're live on the right channel here. Because apparently I was live on the wrong channel. Okay, I gotta make sure we're live on the right channel here. Because apparently I was live on the wrong channel. Okay, I gotta make sure we're live on the right channel here. Because apparently I was live on the wrong channel. Okay, I gotta make sure we're live on the right channel here. Because apparently I was live on the wrong channel. We live? The right? The right channel? We live? The right? The right channel? We live? The right? The right channel? We live? It's not. It says it's not streaming. It's not. It says it's not streaming. It's not. You been in the gym? Keep your summertime fine. I might have to restart.